Now we spoke about endothermic and exothermic processes in our unit about energy. But now that we have taken a look at reactions, we are now can talk about endothermic and exothermic reactions. So in a reaction where I have something, I add energy to it. That energy goes into that thing to make B. This is what we call an endothermic reaction. So endo means in, so energy is going into the reactants to make the product. And this reaction will get cold as it absorbs heat. The opposite side of this is I have something here. A chemical reaction occurs, it becomes something new, and in that process it releases heat. In this case, the reaction is going to get hot. And the final thing that I want to talk to you guys a little bit about here is different types of reactions. So we know that there's a continuum of reactions. There's all kinds of different ones that we could have. But again, we love to stick things in boxes. So we developed a few little patterns here and gave them some names. So when I have two things that are going to combine together to make one thing, we call this a combination reaction. When I have one thing that breaks apart into two or more different things, we're going to call this a decomposition reaction. When I have two different species bound together, I introduce a third species here, and I see that one of these guys comes and binds preferentially to C and has A free now. We're going to call this a displacement reaction, okay, or replacement reaction, because essentially here A is being replaced with C. And sometimes this actually occurs twice. So if I have A bound to B and C bound to D, then I might wind up with A bound to D and C bound to B. And these two have both displaced each other in this thing. And so we call it a double displacement reaction. And the last one, and we saw an example of this before, is the combustion reaction. This is going to be indicated by the fact that we're going to react oxygen with something else. And in that process, we're going to produce some kind of oxide and some water. So we know that both neutralization reactions with Arrhenius bases and acids produce water. So do combustion reactions. The difference between them two is whether or not we have a salt or an oxide. When we have an oxide, it's a combustion reaction. When we have a salt, it's a neutralization reaction.